All right, guys. So good morning and welcome to today's episode of Market Compass. We're going to be going into what we have for today. All right, let's see what we can make out of the market for today. Yesterday, I gave a call on US 30 that we should be looking to buy this asset, and it was a very, very much pretty decent trade analysis. I explained why we should see from the weekly time frame. Again, this was our drawn liquidity in the weekly time frame, and we are already quite approaching that weekly time frame drawn liquidity. Now, this weekly time frame drawn liquidity is going to be leading us to potential all-time high in the US 30 market. And if you see what the daily time frame is doing, right, we opened, gapped down all the way to, we gapped to these lows, and we began to see that rejections all with the upside. So I've been much more bullish on US 30. I've been very much bullish on US 30, and I really anticipate that we should see some more bullish continuation. We missed this entry just by very few pips, and we missed by very few pips. It's quite painful anyways, but then we're going to get a re-entry. The market is full of abundance, right? So we're going to definitely get a re-entry, that I'm sure. So I would want to pay close attention to, let me see the 4 hours time frame. Let me see what we can get potentially before each 4 time frame within these levels. Let me see the from daily hitch for 3 hours. Okay. Let me see 2 hours. All right, so let's pay close attention to these levels. I like what I'm seeing here. I like the key levels right here. So let's see if you can get a good reaction from these key levels. 1 hour time frame, yeah. So I would want to pay attention to these key levels for a potential continuation. 2 hours gives me the best call. SL is just going to be just right below the structural low, and TP is going to be right at this high, which is this under 1 to 3 weeks reward. Right, so I'll keep my eyes on these levels for US 30 today. So keep my eyes on these levels for US 30 today. Let's see if I can potentially get this. So up next, let's see what the DXY is doing so far. Let's see what the DXY is doing so far. Right, since yesterday, we've just been pretty much ranging around these levels. Since yesterday, we've been pretty much ranging around these levels. And I told you guys that our sell is going to just resume from here. So it's more of a waiting game. We have FOMC by tomorrow. So I'm going to be waiting pretty much well, seated, just patiently waiting for the price coming to this level. That's when I can start considering some potential selling opportunities. Same thing applicable for the USD or GBP USD. I would want to see us keep some good retracements, a good sell in any of all this IPA or imbalance right here. Then I can begin to look for my entry and continuation from there. So until then, we're just sitting out on all the majors. So we're sitting out on all the majors. No entry opportunity yet in the majors. No clean entry opportunities in the majors. For USJPY, I'm anticipating that we should see some really good retracements on these guys to at least this imbalance. You see the imbalance resting just right above here. So I would really want to see us give some buys till we get, just like we are expecting on the dollar index also. So to see some buys to these levels is going to give me some strength and to convince me so much to want to take that trade. So I will be looking at some good entry opportunities. Let me see the 4 hours time frame, what the 4 hours is saying. 3 hours, 2 hours. Let me see the 1 hour time frame. So I might want to pay close attention to what is going on here. Let me call this out for you guys here on USJPY. I would want to see this, right? So it's more like an immediate execution. I'm going to be executing this now, and target is going to be the imbalance. So this is already a typical 1 to 3 to reward for me. So USJPY, if you can hold this, this is exactly what I'll be expecting on USJPY today. All right, so let me also keep this. So we have 2 trade setups now. We have for US 30 and we have for USJPY. We have for US 30 and we have for USJPY. So I really want to pay close attention to these levels. Let me also see what we have based on the DRC model. All right, so yeah, the DRC is giving us a very good, it's giving us some very clean. If we should use the 50%, split it to 50% DRC, right? We just got that typical A, B. This is a potential C. If you can get that D leg, then we see reactions around it. But overall, we shouldn't see price go below this low. Anything that take price below this low, we are going to see some sell. So that's my validation levels. I would have said this lows, but then I would prefer to use this. Anything that takes price below this structural level here, it's my validation level. So I want to see, that is why I'm potentially buying from this delay, because I might not be on charts to wait for complete deformation, retracement, and all that. So all that will happen. We may enter now, just as we're entering right now. We might see some profits back to entry, maybe stall a little bit around entries, drawdown, before we start seeing that move all the way to the upside. So I'll keep my eyes on this trade on the USD-JPY. This is what I'll be looking out from USD-JPY. This is what I'll be looking out on GBP-JPY. I don't have any opportunity yet on GBP-JPY. Nasdaq has hit tip target already. Nasdaq has hit the weekly drawn liquidity I was looking out for. This was the weekly drawn liquidity I was looking out from Nasdaq, and we hit it just as we were expecting for US30 yesterday, right? So we've gotten to that weekly drawn liquidity. I'm not much interested now in what Nasdaq has to offer. We got all the very clean trade opportunities like yesterday. So, but US30 did not deliver. So I'll be watching here. Remember, we had a missed limit somewhere down there, but then this is our refined entry. And let's see if we can get this. So this is a 1 to 3 weeks reward on US30. And we already have 1 to 3 on USD30. We have 1 to 3 on USD-JPY. Then lastly, another asset I'm looking at is the AUD-JPY. Sorry, AUD-JPY. All right, I had a limit on this yesterday. I'm in on this one too. I'm bullish on AUD-JPY, and we're in profit. I traded on profit. Let me get it before. I think I have the before of this particular trade. Let me see if I can find. Sorry, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is it. So I had it before of this particular trade. This. So it's simple, same analysis, right? So this was the before of my AUD-JPY, 1 to 3 weeks reward. We got a 4 hours break. We test and dive into it. Around, you see 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 weeks reward. Okay, 1 to 3 weeks reward. And the ideology, just as I shared yesterday, the idea behind the trade is simple. Our weekly draw on liquidity is the one resting above here. We sold all the way down. This loop is a protected loop. If anything that brings price, anything that should bring price action below this loop, right? We know that we are not going to be seeing bullish price action. We're seeing some more bearish price action again. Now, the best drawn liquidity, no doubt, would have been the one, or the best reaction for the trade would have been anywhere below there on the 4 hours time frame. But then I loved the rejection that was happening right at these levels. I love the rejection that was happening right at these levels. I love the rejection that was happening right at these levels on the daily time frame. So this is potentially where So this is potentially where, sorry about that. So this is potentially where I love the rejection that was happening right at these key levels. And that is why I'm anticipating some more retracement on these guys for some bullish continuations. So coming down to the 4 hours time frame, and we refined it. I mean, I think that was on the 2 hours time frame. Yes, should be on the 2 hours. Yeah. So on the 2 hours time frame, we got this break of structure. I love the break of structure that was happening right at the rejection of that key levels. You know, one of the things that helps us is that when you identify a point of interest, waiting for confirmation around that point of interest can strengthen your bias. If there was no clean point of interest, and the lowest time frame I would have gone, since that point of interest was drawn on the daily time frame, the lowest time frame I would have gone to for waiting for that evidence is the 1 hour time frame. But then I saw a clean break on the 2 hours. Let me see, the 3 hours even gave that same break, but I saw it better on the 2 hours. I love the way the 2 hours presented it. And I also love the way the 1 hour time frame presented it. So immediately I saw that break, that was my conviction that, okay, look, let's consider taking these buy positions. I had my limit at key levels, entries, SL, and TP is already in 1 to 3 weeks reward. We also have some imbalance above. So let's see, can we get there? So these are the trades I'm looking out for. But today we have AUD-JPY, we're already in motion. We have US30. We are patiently waiting for US30 to come back into our entry to activate. And lastly, we have USD-JPY. So USD-JPY, we are already in USD-JPY. Price is still at entry. Let's see if we can get that rally all the way to the upside. And that will be our trade for the day. Right, so having said that, thank you for joining. See you again tomorrow by 8 a.m. And that will be cheers to a profitable day ahead. Shalom, shalom. Bye, guys.